So hello and welcome to the third edition of the Predict podcast. I'm Bradley, first appearance on this. So today I'm joined with Euan.
Hello.
And Reece.
Hello.
How are we, lads?
I'm good. How
Doing
are you?
alright?
I'm alright.
I'm great. So, football season has pretty much come to an end. Obviously the FA Cup finals being, the Premier League's finished. All we've got left are the playoff finals. How do you think the season's gone, especially the Premier League?
Well, to be fair, it's been actually quite an exciting season, to be fair. It's been, well, I say exciting, it's just been a new brand of football, obviously, with Pep Guardiola really getting to know his City side. As last season, they were doing okay, but they weren't really the finished article yet. But this season, you know, we've seen them compete at a much higher level, and the brand of football that they play is absolutely fantastic. I think the amount of times that they've won games by over 3 goals is a very high number, and obviously with 100 points, that's an outstanding achievement. So I think it's been on paper it looks like, oh, they've walked over the league, but it's just in the style that they did win the league that's the most impressive thing, and it'll be interesting to see if they do it again next season.
Yeah, it will. Like, obviously, you got to look at the first couple of games. I think it was 9 or 10 they went unbeaten, wasn't it? And people were already talking about whether they could recreate Arsenal's spring of going unbeaten all season. Like, 19 points between them and United in second, obviously, just shows the quality that they had over United. But Guardiola, obviously last season they didn't do as well as they'd hoped, but this season, cracking. Like, De Bruyne, he's got to be player of the season for his contribution.
Is that City player of the season?
Aye.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I thought you meant Premier League. I think I'd be a bit
Cause-
up there if it was Premier League.
Nah, in my opinion, De Bruyne has to be player of the season for the Premier League. Like, it's not. I'm not going on about Salah or anyone else like that. Right. The difference between Kevin De Bruyne and Salah is De Bruyne makes things happen.
So does Salah.
Yes,
no,
Salah does, but he hasn't got that creativity like
Salah
De Bruyne
finishes
does.
off his own chances.
Oh, he does. Like, he's like Messi, but he's not. Like 40 odd goals in all competitions for Salah. It's a great achievement, and obviously with it being his first season at Liverpool.
So, are you trying to imply he's going to be a one-season wonder?
I think he will. I think he will struggle next season.
Go on, Euan.
I have to say, I'd agree in the sense that he's not going to reach the same heights that he reached this season. He's not going to be banging in 30 plus goals next season. He's not going to be of that stature. But I think he will still be good. He won't. I think that's the difference between the two of them, is that De Bruyne will have the consistency to keep up with sort of how he played this season. He'll carry that on at the next season. But Salah, because of the heights he's reached this season, will drop back a bit. It's just inevitable. He's not going to be able to reach it.
Do you think Salah's worth?
In today's market at the moment, we're ranging at 100
Personally,
million.
in my opinion, you've got to be touching 120 odd million. Like, you look at last summer, Neymar going to PSG for whatever it was. That was a ridiculous sum.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was
think Salah
necessary
could leave
for football.
in the summer?
I don't think he'll leave this summer.
I don't know.
I think Real Madrid, the way I'm hearing things, I think they're going to have another revolution this summer. Because Ronaldo's coming to the end of his berth, and I think they're looking to build a team, because this season for them has been a total write-off, apart from the Champions League.
Yeah.
I mean, they finished third in the league, so that's way below their standard. So they'll be seriously investing this summer, I think. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a good few major signings from Real Madrid.
Right. So that's I reckon.
But you got to look who they could take. They could take Salah, they might take Kane, even Dele Alli, De Gea, Courtois. There's loads of names being linked with Madrid at the moment. Do you think any of them will actually come to light? Even Hazard as well.
Yeah, but like you've got to think, last couple of seasons, De Gea, for example, could have been on his way. There's been talk of Harry Kane going to Real Madrid for 2 or 3 years. I think since Gareth Bale went, there's been a gap, obviously, where they haven't invested in many signings because they're relying on the same players every season. Like, you look at their strike force, it's Ronaldo, Bale, Benzema. It doesn't change, and I don't think that they'll invest at all this season. Like, obviously, they've underachieved massively, and like I don't think they've won a single trophy. Like, they're in the Champions League final against Liverpool, which I think they will win. But overall, it's been a terrible season. But I still don't think that they'll invest. Obviously, I don't know what you guys think on that, but Real are decreasing. The ability is not as it has been over the last couple of years.
Well, that's my reason for them, my feeling that they will invest, because that ability is decreased, as you say. They've not got the they've not got a world-class player in every position now. They might be in the top 10 in the world, but they've not got the number one. They used to have, think about it, they used to have Kaká, Zidane, Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo, Luis Figo. These are all top calibre players playing for them, and they've not got that anymore. I'd probably say, if you compare Real Madrid to Barcelona, position for position, Barcelona probably take, if you made a team out of both, you'd probably get more players from Barcelona in the team you would Real Madrid. And I think Real Madrid will invest, because I don't think they want another season where Barcelona are going to dominate. I think they only lost one game to Levante. I think it was 2 weeks ago. They got beat off Levante.
Yeah.
So Real Madrid aren't going to stand by and just let Barcelona walk over them again this season. They want to make a statement in the summer by maybe signing 2-3 world-class players to, try and get them back up there for next season. Potentially win a treble.
Considering their dominance in recent years, like if you look at like their performances in the Champions League last couple of years, I mean, it's 3 of the last 4 Champions League seasons they've won. They've won the Champions League, and they could be on for a 5th year. And you look at how they've gone from that to all of a sudden being just sort of absolutely nothing in the league, to be honest, in comparison to the likes of Barcelona and even Atletico Madrid.
Mentality in the league?
I think so. I think it's
question of mentality.
Could well be, because they're looking at the whole Super League thing, and I reckon that what they're looking to do is try and move away from La Liga, try and make that feel less important, and go for this big European Super League with the giants of Bayern and Barca, and just have like a proper competition. But that's it. I don't think it'll work out well for them, because, to be honest,
you're looking at that, and basically they're dominating the European stage. They've knocked out 3 top quality teams this year.
Yeah.
They've knocked out PSG, Juventus, and Bayern Munich. That's 3. They're easily in the top 10 teams. Yeah. Probably closer to the top 5 in the world. But you've got to question that, as you have said. You've got to question why can they not perform as consistently in La Liga as they are in the Champions League? Because you're saying 4 or 5 years they've won it. They've won the Champions League. The top competition in the world in my eyes for clubs, but they're not. They can't beat teams like Leganes and Eibar and it's like Bilbao. You get the gist. Teams like that, they're not. Yeah. They're failing to go over that hurdle of consistently beating the smaller clubs. But it baffles me how they're able to so consistently perform fantastically in Europe.
So, looking at that, then, their success this season in the Champions League, do they deserve to win the Champions League, or do you think Liverpool could potentially upset them?
I think if you're talking on merit, and getting there, it's a hard one. I could easily say right now that Liverpool deserve to win it due to how they had to start in the qualifying round. They've worked their way up, and they've only lost 1 game on their way there. I think Real Madrid have as well. They've only lost 1 game. So I think it's actually equal in the terms of how they've got there. Because I know Real Madrid have faced top sides on their way to the final. But Liverpool have had a longer route, and they've been more comfortable, especially in the group stages. They had a couple of drubbings of Porto, but they've beat Man City, who at one point were looking well in to complete a quadruple at one point in the season. So I think it evens itself out. I think whoever wins on Saturday night deserves to win, because I think they've both had very similar routes to the final, and I think the best team will win on the night.
Yeah. Well, it's a game that's going to obviously guarantee goals.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
you'd
Absolutely.
back Ronaldo, you'd back Salah to score.
Yeah.
But it's all about who has the right mentality on the night. Personally, I think Real have had a terrible season, and they'll cap it off with a Champions League win. But there's also Liverpool, who haven't been in the Champions League final for nearly 14, 13 years, and want to win something.
So the way I'm
They've
looking at it is you've got a Real Madrid side who, like you say, they haven't won anything. They've had a terrible season, but again, I think it comes back to their mentality. And you look at the way that they performed against Juventus and against Bayern, and they weren't spectacular. They weren't like sort of the movement, the passing, all of it really was just generally, it wasn't brilliant. It wasn't like star-studded like we've come to expect from Real in recent years. They don't seem to want it. Whereas I think Liverpool are going to be in that position where it's like, you've not been in this position for God knows how long. I mean, imagine recreating a 2005 Istanbul moment over in Kiev. They will have that, and the fan support just to drive them towards, which is why I would say Liverpool are probably going to take it, because I don't think Real are in the right frame of mind this season.
Well, you watch Liverpool near week in, week out, because you're a Liverpool supporter, obviously.
Of course.
Apart from the front three, obviously the three main danger men, who else should we be looking out for in the final who could really take the headlines and grab the show by an excellent performance?
I tell you what, I one of our own homegrown ones, well, I say our own homegrown ones, like as in Scottish homegrown, Andy Robertson, I would say, because he has had a massive impact, particularly on the defensive issues of Liverpool. Because obviously last season conceding goals left, right and centre, been all over the place at the back. This season, with the introduction of Andy Robertson, it has shored up a little bit, and we've seen more clean sheets, we've seen just better defensive play in general, but we've also got more of a threat on the wings as well going forward, which is something I felt like he's provided, and he's shown a lot of dedication. So it's, for me, Robertson is another big sort of standout player, and I mean, I wouldn't say underrated as such, as in like sort of an overlooked member of the team, because he isn't. He is fantastic, and people recognise that. But in sort of in the shadow of sorts of Salah, he is doing brilliantly, and it's just sort of because of how well Salah and Firmino and Mane have done, he has sort of gone a little bit unrecognised, but he deserves recognition. He's done really, really well. I reckon watch out for him.
I was just going to say, just touching on your defensive comment there, Euan. Like, up until January, they were still a bit shaky. I think the person who will make a difference is Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
Obviously, his move from Southampton, his first game in the FA Cup against Everton, when he scored that winner. Since then, he's just been a really good signing, and him and Lovren at the back, they're just solid. Like, obviously, it doesn't matter if it's Karius or Mignolet behind him.
I tell you what, Lovren, sort of since the Europa League, I'd say Lovren has really just been really poor. He's just sort of dropped off a little bit. He wasn't looking great, and there was a lot of Liverpool fans calling for his head, and I'm not gonna lie, I was one of them. But since Van Dijk has come in, it seems like they've formed a defensive partnership which is starting to work really, really well, and it's actually started to shore up a little bit at the back. And I mean, the Roma game was sort of a prime example of that, because when sort of we lost that with Klavan coming on, and his sort of intervention really cost us in both those games, because you could see most of our goals that we shipped in those two games were in the last 5 minutes when Klavan was on. So it's a case of, I think Van Dijk has brought the best out of Lovren, and Van Dijk has done a fantastic job. 75 million was a bit steep, but to be fair,
it's a bit deep, especially for a defender.
Absolutely.
Well, you touch on Lovren there. you touched on Lovren.
Yeah.
Do you think he's a weakness that could be exploited in the final?
I don't know. I mean, I think with the way he's performed since Van Dijk has come in, I would say not, because generally he has been really good since Van Dijk has come in. But whenever it's come to the big occasion, the big game, he does have a tendency to sort of falter a little bit. So it could be, it's up in the air. I think he's going to hold his ground, because I think he's feeling a lot more confident as well. He's saying, like he was saying,
against some of the best attackers in the world, isn't he? So
he's
going to have to hold his ground to a certain extent.
Aye, there's a lot of pressure riding on him, but I think it's sort of because of the belief that's been instilled in him with sort of his recent performances. Like he was saying the other day in an interview, how he said he was ready to face Ronaldo, which was one of the most bizarre headlines I'd ever read. But
aye, so
Right.
do you have confidence in Liverpool to win the Champions League final?
I reckon we can do it. I think it'll be an incredibly close game. It'll be a very entertaining game, but I think if we win it, it'll be close, and I think it'll be sort of a last 10 minutes sort of job.
Right. So what's your predictions, Euan?
I'm saying 3-2 to Liverpool.
Bradley?
I'm gonna go 2-1 Real.
I'm saying 4-3 Liverpool in extra time.
Jeez.
I like that.
Obviously, it's going to be an exciting final.
I hope it doesn't not live up to expectations, be a 0-0 a bore fest.
If we get a draw 1-0 or a 0-0 win on penalties, it's just going to be the biggest letdown of the season.
So moving on, Bradley, what's next on the agenda?
Yeah, I was going to touch on, just going back to the Premier League, the success story for me this season has been Burnley. I don't know what your opinions are, but under Sean Dyche, they've just been incredible. Like they finished 7th. They've got Nick Pope, their keeper, in the England squad. It's great. I think, obviously, their position last season was mid-table somewhere, and you would never have thought that they were capable of doing this. Like, they've pulled off some remarkable results this season. And Sean Dyche, I think, is probably one of the most underrated managers in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I think he probably, if he wasn't considered, I'd be very surprised. But I'm surprised he didn't actually get the Arsenal job, because I think he'd be a fantastic fit for the club. I think they need someone to bring stability and someone who has fresh ideas to help them move forward. And I think Sean Dyche would have brought that. And I think they've missed out by not managing to acquire him. But I don't know if he was even on the list, so I don't really know. But that was my opinion. I think he should have been a key candidate for that job.
I think the issue there. Oh, sorry.
It's alright. I was just going to say about Arsenal, and obviously with Wenger leaving after 22 years, obviously it's going to be a struggle for whoever takes over. Like, you look at when Sir Alex Ferguson retired and David Moyes took over.
Chaos.
It causes chaos. Like,
as you're well aware, Moyes.
Arsenal this coming season, I think they'll finish outside the Europe. They'll be in the Europa Leagues again, but it's going to be one of them seasons where they struggle.
I don't know. You've got to think of it. Look at David Moyes at Man United. He only got 6 months. I don't know how patient they'd be with Emery. I don't know how they're going to treat him.
Like, you got to look at the difference between Moyes and Emery. Moyes came from Everton, where he'd been a good manager for about 10 years, where they were finishing Europa League, so 7th, 8th, 9th every season. But with Emery, he's coming from one of the biggest clubs in Europe. He's worked with the biggest players. He's worked with Neymar. So
but
I don't know.
Can we really talk about that as being he's a successful manager because he's been at PSG? It's a one-horse league. The amount of money they invest. They spent about 300 million last summer alone. That's crazy money getting thrown about. But can you really judge him on that?
Well,
I've not followed him from beforehand, but was he the Sevilla manager but never Europa League.
Yep.
Was he the Sevilla manager when they were dominating Europa League?
He was, yeah, for the 3 years in a row.
That's what I
they won
judge
it.
him on. That's what I would judge him on.
Yeah.
Well, he has obviously had his moments where his work. He knows that league through the back of his hand. He's won it for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years running, something like that.
I think he's been there that long.
Well, even so, PSG have just been winning it, haven't they? There's been
no challenge.
Yeah, yeah, but that's a bit like the Scottish Premier League. There's becoming so many leagues where Celtic, for example, they're on 7 successive league wins for the Championship. It's unbelievable. Like, obviously, speaking of Celtic, you're a Celtic fan, so
yeah.
As a fan, obviously winning it every season, like obviously a couple of years ago, you had Rangers challenging you for the title, and obviously when they got demoted down to League 2, you didn't really have any clubs challenging you. You've got like Aberdeen and Hibs and Hearts, like in and around
Aberdeen.
The issue.
Aberdeen challenge, same sentence.
Well, I'm sorry. They finished second. let's not bitch at Aberdeen.
Second, Euan.
Don't
sweep under the carpet. Aberdeen finishing second.
I'm just gonna lie down here and speak no more of it.
No, but Euan, as a Celtic fan, does it get boring winning the title every season?
Scottish football is a lot boring, mate.
No, not at all. There is, I don't know. There's a guy. To the people who listen to this, I would recommend you follow him on Twitter, even if you're not a fan of Scottish football. One thing I would recommend is following a guy called Old Firm Facts on Twitter, because he is top class, and he's, it's just the sort of thing where you see him and you see him catching all of these moments of just brilliant patter right across Scottish football, and that's sort of part of what keeps it entertaining. But there's also just in general what has happened, even since Rangers got liquidated down to League 2 and everything. Like you've had clubs like Aberdeen and Hibs and Hearts and that have sort of been there kind of competing, but you knew they were never going to take the edge. So it was all the competition was going to come in the Scottish Cup and the League Cup.
Not to be honest, Ronnie Dyler walked the league 2 years in a row. So
he did. Ronnie Dyler,
Ronnie Dyler is.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he was good in his first season. I mean, he should have won the treble, deserved to win the treble. Cheated out of the Scottish Cup. Cheated out the Scottish Cup. Still raging about that. Blatant save
George
there.
Weekends. I remember listening to that on the radio actually.
See, that's the thing. I was listening to it, and the commentators saying handball, blatant handball, and it just. But Donald Dyler, even Dyler can walk the league. It is getting easier and easier to win the league. I think if there's any way for
Celtic to win the league, Euan,
I probably could, to be fair. I reckon I could. It's not that difficult to get them to win the league. I reckon the competition comes in the Scottish Cup.
Because you see the players he's brought in since he came to the club, but he's not brought in that many. He's only brought in 4 or 5 players.
Yeah.
Who play week in, week out. I don't think it's more mentality, in my opinion, than actually them being a top quality side. You see yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you watch Celtic and you're like, a good team would take them some of the time.
Yeah.
There's some questionable moments, as there is in every Scottish football club.
Yeah.
Even Celtic falls short sometimes.
Right.
In Europe, they get humped every week.
Yep. Barcelona, PSG, take your pick.
There's no. Nah, Scottish football, people call it boring, but look at the last game of the season. Rangers. 5-0.
Aye.
5-0. You don't get that in England. Oh my God, you don't get that in England. But I think people who, Brad, I don't know if you've been prone to it in the past, calling Scottish football a pub league, a boring league, a league for plumbers and postmen.
I wouldn't go that bad.
I think people have got to look more into it. I've got to look more into it and actually watch a match of Scottish football. It's end-to-end football.
Yeah.
No matter who's playing.
It is cracking.
Celtic could be 80% possession. I think you agree with this, and they could get caught out one counter and lose the game.
Yeah. We've drawn games with Hamilton Accies away from home just because we've dominated the game, dominated possession, had like 20 odd chances. They've had one counter attack and scored. It's finished one apiece. That's the thing with Scottish football is that you've got teams at the bottom end of the league who believe they can win, and I think that's the big difference between Scottish football and English football. Because in the Premier League, you're playing for money, but whereas in the Scottish League, it's like you're not really going to get much more money finishing second as you are 12th. So it's going to be like,
Kelly,
at the end of the day, you're just sort of trying to just do your very best to finish as high up the table as you can, just for your own pride, which is why I love it so much.
Stevie Clark came in, November?
Exactly.
And he's played Old Firm. How many times he's played Old Firm? Basically, he's lost one game against Old Firm. Out of, I think, 6 or 7 games he's played against Old Firm, he's lost one.
Right.
And I've watched Kelly, and I watched him beat us at Ibrox. Chris Boyd scored the winner, and I watched the game Pedro's last game, in which Stevie Clark's second game in charge.
Right.
And they drew 1-1. They just, it's hard to watch, but you've got to admire that every player has a job,
yep,
and every player has a role, and they believe in their manager so much that they're willing to stick to the role, and they're playing for the team and not themselves, which is a thing I don't, as Euan has touched on, I don't think that's a thing you see as much in English football with the amount of money that's pumped into it.
Yep.
People and Scottish players are nowhere near the same amount as English Premier League players. So I think there's more, as Euan said, I definitely agree with that, there's more pride and more commitment to the club. You feel a personal bond with the club than you do in England. I think you're just an employee in England. You're not. I think you become a fan after playing with a club for a few years, knowing what they're about, and you want to fight for the win and 3 points. So I think that's the difference between Scottish and English football. I think there's a lot more commitment and character in Scottish football than there is in England. I think English league's dying. I think it's become more of a franchise and an actual competition.
Yeah, and it's
so speaking of Celtic, Kieran, we're gonna obviously put a new feature into this podcast. Know your team. We're gonna start with you for this week, and Reece is gonna obviously do it on your team, Celtic. So, do you want to take it away, Reece?
I'll take it away. So, contestant number 1.
Here we go.
What is your name?
My name is Euan. Do I go surname as well, or just I'll just go Euan.
Your name is Euan.
No.
And what is your occupation?
I work at Domino's.
You got any discount codes?
I don't have discount codes,
We
no.
wish.
But if you come into the Bathgate store and give me proof that you're in one of the leagues, I can discount one of your pizzas.
That is, you heard it here first. predict, and Domino's Pizza, sponsorship.
Just
Get that sorted. Tom, Jack, if you're listening, get it sorted. Get the partnership.
just for the
Every
record.
person who wins a Predict League, they get 3 years supply of pizza.
Hold on, hold on. just.
Euan, who is your favourite club?
My favourite club is Celtic. Born Celtic fan.
How did you become a Celtic supporter?
Through my dad. So my granddad was born in the East End of Glasgow, was raised in there. He then obviously gave birth to my dad, or well, my stepdad.
Did he?
He did. Well, no, he did. He didn't. Obviously, he contributed. Let's.
He assisted.
Yeah. Aye. My granny scored the goal at the end, but he assisted. Yes. This. But yeah, so
Right.
My stepdad obviously raised him to be a Celtic fan, and then when he came into my life, sort of he introduced me to football and everything, and the wonders that it brought. So from there, I became a Celtic fan because that's who he was.
And what place are you in the Celtic season ticket list?
I am 2,419th in the season ticket waiting list.
So anyone at this Celtic season ticket office that listens or is in one of the leagues, please get Euan up the league.
Please.
Because it'd be greatly appreciated. Euan, are you ready?
I am ready. Hit me with some questions.
You are ready. Question 1. Dun, dun. Right. In which season did Celtic first compete in the Champions League group stage? You have 3 options. 1999 to 2000 season, 2001 to 2002 season, or the 2002 to 2003 season?
Well, obviously stop the rot, stop the 10 in a row. question is, did we qualify for the Champions League that season, though? Because we still would have had to do.
I'm gonna need an answer.
I'm gonna say 99-2000.
I can reveal. That is the wrong answer. The answer is the 2001 to 2002 season. And the fact behind it is it was Martin O'Neill was the Celtic manager at the time, and they defeated Ajax 3-2 on aggregate to qualify for the group stage.
Oh, I have seen that actually. Dash. Yeah.
Were you in primary school at that stage?
I was.
Were you avid Celtic
At that
supporter
point, I was 2-3 years old. In fact, if it was a Champions League qualifier, I would have been 2 years old at the time. Just to, yeah.
That's probably a bit harsh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know a fair bit about beforehand, but it's some of the stuff does sort of slip by you.
So the second question is, which stadium, or actually, which Spanish city hosted the 2002 to 2003 UEFA Cup final between Celtic and Villarreal?
The 2002-2003 UEFA Cup final. Got it.
Yep, between Celtic and Villarreal. So the options are Barcelona, Valencia, or Seville.
It was Seville, because I constantly see people referencing to where they were and how they were doing on that day in Seville. Obviously, wasn't there myself.
Are you sure?
That's my final answer. I'm saying Seville.
You're correct. The answer is Seville. Celtic were defeated though on that night by Villarreal.
Heartbreaking.
To play at the Estadio El Madrigal. A nice wee fact for the crying Celtic supporters that are still seeing flashbacks about that night. Anyway, during the 2000 season, what was the only cup that Celtic Football Club won?
Sorry, what season
was it? The 2000 season. The 2000 season. Was it A, the Scottish Football League Cup, B, the Scottish Cup, or C, the Scottish Premier League?
Oh, actually, hold on. 2000. So is that 2002, 2001, or 1999 to 2000?
No, just 2000.
In
1999, 2000.
1999, 2000.
It was the only trophy that was won during the Dalglish
right,
era.
Okay. Well, it's not Premier League then, because Celtic stopped the rot in 2000 to 2001. So it's not Premier League. It's either Scottish Cup or League Cup.
I'm going to push you for an answer here.
I'm going to say Scottish Cup.
Scottish Cup is that the final answer? I can tell you now that is the wrong answer.
50-50.
It was the Scottish Football League Cup.
It was a 50-50. It was a 50-50 at that point.
It was a 50-50. Question 4. Who was Celtic's first ever manager?
Oh, the first ever manager.
Was it A, Billy McNeil? Was it B, Tommy Burns? Or was it C, Willie Malley?
I mean, we sing about him all the time. It's Willie Milley. Willie Milley was his name. He brought some great names to the game when he was the boss at Celtic Park. It's Willie Milley, yes.
It is Willie Malley, you're correct. So you've got 2 out of 4 so far, are you happy with that?
Relatively speaking. I mean, I should have got the first one.
Relatively?
But...
Yeah, I agree. But anyway, you've still got 6 more questions to go. Bradley, how do you feel about Euan's progress?
I'm not impressed. I think he should be doing better.
Well, you've got your turn next week, Mr. Saxton.
That's fine.
You'll be on Know Your Club next week. You need to get the books out
That
for
is
that
absolutely fine. I'm going to have to interrupt. I have a meeting to attend to, so I'm going to leave you two to it.
Right.
You're a Spurs. I think you're a closet Spurs fan because you're a.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I hope Euan gets more than 5, but that's very unlikely.
Wow.
So I'll see you both next week.
Right. Yes.
See you next week, Mr. Bradley. You're not getting it.
Rude. I'll see you next
See
week.
you then, Bradley.
See you next week, Bradley. Well, sorry for that bottling, kind of. I'll put it down as a bottling. Bradley
bottle job.
Can we make that a segment? Bradley's bottle jobs.
I will just.
Bradley's bottle jobs of the week.
Hang on, note that down. Note that down.
Right. So continuing with the Know Your Club segment. How many points did Celtic end the season with in the 2001 to 2002 season?
Ooh.
This was a Martin O'Neill glory season. Can confirm that.
Sorry, 2001 to 2002. Sorry.
It's a high number. 2001 to 2002. You're still being your nappy.
Yes.
Right. So the options are 98 points, 101 points, or 103 points.
Oh. So the two over 100s are making me think. Oh wait, no, actually, it's 103, because I remember we broke that record last year, didn't we? With the 106.
I have no clue. I'm not sure.
Of course you're not. Of course you're not. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
103?
because we broke that record last year with the 106, and I remember we were level with the record going into the final game.
You're absolutely correct, Euan. 103, the correct answer. And a nice fact about Martin O'Neill's time at the club. He gained 200 points as Celtic manager in 2 seasons. And one of the seasons was 103 points. But I think that's quite an extraordinary record.
That is incredible.
Brendan's pushing.
He is. Brendan's done a fantastic job.
Brendan's either overtook it or he's not far away.
And he's not far away. Because it was this season
away.
was 82, was it? I think 82.
Right. So Lubo Moravcik was brought to Celtic from which German club?
Ooh.
Was it Hamburg? Was it Mainz? Or was it Duisburg?
See, Duisburg are quite. See, they're quite sort of low end, but I reckon it could be them at the minute. I'm looking at. I'm thinking Mainz. What were the options? Sorry.
Option A was Hamburg. Option B was Mainz. And option C was Duisburg.
You know, actually, he wasn't particularly well known before he came to us, I don't think. Which makes me think it could be Duisburg.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, I'm going to say Duisburg.
You're absolutely correct.
Oh, mate.
Right, so this, on the website I'm using, says it's an easy question. I don't know how you feel about this. Which Celtic manager signed Lubo Moravcik? Was it A, Martin O'Neill? Was it B, Alan Barnes? It's not Alan Barnes. It is Alan Barnes. Wait. What's some slight technical difficulties here? Oh my god, it's John Barnes.
Alright.
Apologies. for that slight technical difficulty. So we'll start again. Option A, Martin O'Neill. Option B, John Barnes. Or option C, Dr. Josef Venglos.
Okay. I'm trying to think when, because Moravcik came in the 98-99 season. I'm trying to think, was Martin O'Neill before or after? No, Martin O'Neill was after, because Martin O'Neill came in 99-2000.
Let's push you for an answer.
I'm going John Barnes.
Is that the final answer?
I bet it's Martin O'Neill.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Damn it.
It's Dr. Josef Venglos.
Oh.
Lubo's fellow Czechoslovakian.
Oh, that makes
It
sense.
says here that Venglos took Lubo to the 1990 World Cup, part of the Czechoslovakia squad. Then at the tender age of 33, brought him to the piggery.
I don't think
Sorry,
it says
Paradise.
the piggery.
It's a typo. It was a typo. I do apologise for any offence. There. It is a typo.
You gotta be careful of those, Reece.
I'm just reading it. I'm reading it from a website. Can't be held accountable for
Is the
them.
website red, white, and blue by any chance?
Question 8. Who was Celtic's first ever match against?
Oh.
It was in May 1888. And your options are Hibernian Football Club, Heart of Midlothian Football Club, or Rangers Football Club.
See, my gut's going Rangers because I reckon it's going to be a local rivalry. That's what they want to kick it off with. But the fact that they've given me two Edinburgh clubs is making me think it could be one of those. You know what? I think local rivalry. It's got to be Rangers, surely. It has to be Rangers. Yeah.
You sure? You're
Yeah.
absolutely correct. It was Rangers who Celtic faced in the first ever
Did we not
football
win
match.
like 5-2 or something?
I think it was. I can remember reading about it somewhere. I think it was a tie. I think it might have been 5-1, 5-2.
Yeah.
You know, we've not had a lot of 5-1 since. Have
No,
we?
no, not at all.
No.
Or 5-0s or 4-0s, really. I mean,
I'm still suffering from a bit of PTSD after the games. You know, just seeing Moussa Dembele scoring a hat-trick.
9-0 in 2 weeks.
Joey Barton picking the ball at the net, you know, Philip Sendros getting sent off. It's bringing back bad memories a bit. Anyway, enough about my psychiatric problems. So, Euan, you're on the next question.
Here we go.
Who scored the only goal of the game when Celtic defeated Rosenborg at Celtic Park in a group stage match in October 2001? Was it A. Henrik Larsson, B. Neil Lennon, or C. Alan Thompson?
Who scored the only goal?
The only goal of the match. It was a free kick.
See, I reckon Henrik's been thrown in there as sort of, you know, your go-to, so people look at that and they instantly think it's Henrik Larsson, which is why I'm being drawn to Super Alan Johnson.
Well, I said Alan Thompson.
Thompson, fucking hell.
Who's Alan
Sure.
Johnson? I cannot identify Alan Johnson.
Oh,
Celtic football.
Ah.
To be fair, I said Alan Barnes, so I'll let you
This is like when I said that Jack was Scottish earlier.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, I'm saying Alan Thompson.
You're absolutely correct. So the last question, final question of the first edition of Know Your Club. How do you feel you've got on? Do you think that this can cap it all off? Do you think cap it all
I
off
would
for a
love
correct
to.
answer?
I think I've vastly improved from my opener. I think it's.
I think you've grown as the games went on. You know, I think you've set a good score for next week. Whoever decides to take it on, we will be, after we've done all the admins, we will be opening it up to the Predict Loyal Fan Club, if you want to call it, the Predict members. We will be opening it up to them. So you know, if you want to get involved, please leave a message with either myself, Euan, Bradley, Tom, Jack, Connor, even Sam. You know, anyone, if you want to get involved, you know, just please let us know, and we'll get you on.
I'm sorry, just so he doesn't feel left out. Lewis as well. Lewis is also there.
Lewis, oh my God! See, I was literally about to say Lewis. Lewis, I'm sorry. You know, us Brits have got to stay together. Lewis, you know, the bond.
Hold on. Brits, no, Scottish, surely. Don't.
Hearts. You know, Hearts secured their European football for next season, so we've got to thank them for that. You know. So I do apologise, Lewis. Anyway.
Right.
In the 2002-2003 season, what country was Celtic's first round opponents FK Sudava from?
Oh,
Option A is Lithuania. Option B is Latvia. And option C is Ukraine.
Well, as much as I think it's Ukraine, I think I've made some tremendous progress today, and so I'm going for Lithuania. Yeah, I'm going Lithuania. I reckon it's Lithuania. Yeah.
You sure? You're correct.
Oh!
And Euan, it's that final answer. The specialist team are counting up your score as we speak. Get a wee buzz through the earphone here. You know, I'm going to be handling a special envelope with the score inside.
Which was coming to the earphone and the envelope.
Stand by. Wait, we're running out of time. Oh, right, okay. Understand. Yep. Right, okay. Right, thank you. Euan.
Yes.
Mr. Hetland. You've scored a grand total of 7
I'm happy with that. I'm quite happy with that.
That's a decent score for the first segment of the series. We're going to be running a good couple of summer Predict podcasts, so you know there's going to be plenty of other people looking to take the crown off you. So at the moment you are top of the leaderboard.
I'm the only one there, but I'll take it.
You're the only one there, but you all take it. You know, so it's
exactly
part that counts. Anyway, so now that you know the Englishman's gone, know what I'm saying? Englishman's gone.
Don't need to talk about England anymore.
Let's talk about
Scottish football.
Let's talk about Scottish football. Strictly Scottish. This segment all about Scottish.
We need to make sure.
You know, we know we've got a good few leagues about Scottish football now. We had the Rangers League that kind of was liquidated like Rangers.
Which is going to be running next season, just for clarity.
Which will be running next season. Yeah, just the disclaimer. It will be running next season again. It'll be up and running next season for Steven Gerrard's reign as
hopefully the admin can be a bit more consistent.
Whistle-stop European tour of one round, one night in Luxembourg. DVD's coming out soon. And you know we've got the SPFL League, which has been fantastically run this season by the man himself, Euan, and then his apprentice Connor. You wouldn't think as an apprentice, but you know he puts himself.
He has done
about.
very well with it. I'm very impressed.
And if you watch the Edinburgh derbies on TV, he's the one responsible for the split bombs in the Hearts end. So if Police Scotland are looking for the unnamed man, please get in contact. I'm sure we'll be okay with
I
handing him
don't
over
think that's an issue.
for the suitable, for a suitable price.
I reckon we could get a good reward for handing over the Chewett Bandit.
I think we could get a good price for Connor as well. Put in the comments how much do you think Connor's worth as a put a bounty on his head.
No, hang on, carefully. He might throw it if we put a bounty on his head.
And the Hearts League is going to start next season.
Are we allowed to drop that? Are we allowed to? Well, I mean, it's out there now.
I think it's got to have a formal announcement.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, the Hearts League is going to be starting next season, run by the man himself, Lewis Gulland.
No, that was Connor.
Chief admin.
That was Connor.
No, I thought I joined on it.
There is also going to be another league.
Because Connor wasn't there for the official AGM.
I know, because the initial plan was for just a wee insight here was that Lewis was supposed to be doing Hearts, but then Connor came to me with his sort of request to join the admin team and everything, which is what I then put through towards Tom, and I think that's when it sort of changed a little bit. And I think they decided, because Lewis is now running another league, which I won't mention here, but I'll tell you after. Secret. Well, I don't know how much we're allowed to reveal, because I mean, there's a couple other things I'm doing next season which I can't.
Stay tuned, guys. Going to be in the next few podcasts, you will be hearing some new things for the next season. And if anyone wants to join the World Cup League, which is going to be up and running soon, it's very limited number of spaces. I think they're going to be capping the numbers in that one, so I think you have to get in time. If you want, that's going to be a great summer. It's going to be a great summer of football, great summer predicting, and you want to get yourself in that roll of honour. Are you on the roll of honour for any leagues, Euan?
No.
You found yourself as the champion?
I'm not good enough for that. No, I came close with Champions League, but I'm not far. I don't know how that's actually getting on. We're gonna have to get an update on that, because I was going neck and neck at the top. So this final on Saturday could be that's a good point.
Final.
That post isn't it?
I won the Manchester United League last season. So
I mean, you don't mention it often.
No complaints there. No complaints about winning that. It's all about taking part, guys. It's all
exactly. I mean, I've been taking part in these leagues now. This is my third year, I think. Now, no, second year taking part. I haven't won anything, but I've enjoyed it very much.
Enjoyed the witty banter displayed by the admin team, the fantastic admin team. Anyway,
Scottish football.
Euan, new season coming
soon.
Soon for Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen, Hibs. Champions League, Europa League qualifiers. Who are you hoping for? Are you hoping for an easy tie?
In the qualifiers, yes. In the group stages, I'm torn. So I'm hoping we get just sort of easy teams to get through the qualifiers, get ourselves into the group stages again. And what I'd like is teams that are sort of, they're out with our range, in the sense you look at maybe your Benfica back in 2012 and that, when they were still really good, or your Portos and that.
Yeah,
just teams that are just slightly out of your reach, but on the night you could catch them, you could beat them. So I think
that's what you've been saying about Barcelona and PSG the last 2 seasons.
That is true.
You're still holding on to Tony Watt, mate.
Well,
Tony Watt lives for that. He gets paid to go to private functions and dinners for that.
I mean, to be fair, the man, I don't even know what he does anymore. I don't even know where he is.
He's pretended to be a professional footballer, mate.
He's been nothing since that goal against Barcelona, which we're still freaking out about.
It killed him. The one night that killed me. One night in East End, Glasgow.
Oh, it was a magical night though. I remember that. I was.
Were you there?
Area 209, row double S. I think seat 30. I was in the lower north stand, so I was basically, just to sum that up for everybody, lower north stand of Celtic Park.
Talking about the other day. We're talking about this the other day about how you're struggling to get a season ticket. Talk to me about the European nights at Celtic Park. People talk about the amazing atmosphere, but is it full?
Honestly, I mean, I was there for the Zenit game this season, because that really annoyed me actually a little bit. was because obviously with the Champions League games, the tickets sold out instantly. Group stage tickets, they were up for like an hour, then they were gone. The Europa League Zenit tickets, I was able to walk into the ticket office an hour before kick-off and buy a ticket. They never sold out until, I think it was maybe 20 minutes before kick-off, which I thought was a bit ridiculous for a team that's so sort of sumptuous in Europe and sort of go there on a regular basis, and we're in the knockout stages of one of the biggest competitions in the world, and yet it's just sort of been overlooked by most of our fans. But
so do you think that's a problem for people who, the younger generation, say a father of say 35 years old has a newborn child, a couple of years time, we want to get interested in football, take more of an interest, understanding. Say when he's 5 years old, the dad's 40, he wants to get him a season ticket. And as you face this season, trying to get a season ticket, you said you're 2,000 on the list, something like that. Do you think that's a problem in creating a new generation of fans that, Celtic are unable to, because people don't go to every game. I've got a season ticket at Ibrox. I don't go to every game, but it's not, if I could go to every game I would. There's some things in life you can't get away from, and they're more important than football, which is hard to admit, but it's the truth. So do you think that it should be, I know at Ibrox and Rangers they run the continuous ticket scheme. I think it's that you put your ticket up for sale through the club if you can't make it. So say I couldn't make, example, the Kelly game we had, we won 1-0, Davy Bates scored with 10 minutes left. Say I couldn't make that, I would say I couldn't make it to the club, say, listen, I can't make it, put my ticket up for sale, and they give you a bit of money back. Do you think that should be compulsory within the club so it allows supporters like yourself who are struggling to get a season ticket, it allows them to go to more matches? Because I'm sure you'd love to go
absolutely
to every match.
That would be, that's why I want the season tickets, because I'm moving into Glasgow and going to be a lot closer. It's going to be much easier access for me, and I would love to start going to the games again, because I haven't been regularly since like 2013, because it just got too expensive. But now I had this issue actually with the sort of last season, where basically my uncle Jamie is a season ticket holder, and he had 2 spare tickets and was able to pawn them off on us. He was like, listen, I'm not going to be able to make the game, and he lends us his season tickets. And so it was my dad and my little brother that went to give my little brother the experience, which is fair enough, because you want him to go, you want him to learn and understand the atmosphere and the experience of being part of that Celtic support. The issue that we do have though is that really does generally just work locally. It just works if you know each other, and I think what we could benefit from introducing what Rangers have got there, and that you can get in contact with the club. I mean, I don't think that's in place already. If it is, it's something I really need to look into. But I don't think I really think we could benefit from something like that, where you can just contact the club and say, listen, I'm not making it. Here's my ticket. You get a bit of your money back. Someone else manages to get a ticket to go and watch the game, and you're packing it out week in, week out, rather than like the game at Kilmarnock, home at Kilmarnock on no Wednesday just gone, but the one before, where the stadium was like half empty. And I'm sat there watching on, thinking half of them are season ticket holders, and I would kill to be there tonight.
Yep,
I've got free time. I would kill to be there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. I mean, you look at attendance numbers. I'm sure you'd see it on the telly sometimes. The attendances that get published compared to the attendances that you actually see. Because I looked at the Hearts game, the game after the 4-0 drubbing at Hampden from yourselves. They said attendance of 47,000, and I'm sorry, I watched on the telly. I couldn't make it. I was away on a family kind of holiday type of thing, and I'm sorry, but it wasn't 47,000. The 2 biggest stands were half empty, and thank God that I wasn't there, because the atmosphere was horrendous, and has been. Ibrox's atmosphere is. All credit to the Union Bears. I think they're doing a great job in trying to up the atmosphere as a Green Brigade at Parkhead. But I think there really has to. They're struggling. The atmosphere at some of the games this season. I don't know if that's because there are affairs within the club. I know Rangers are very troubled. Sometimes one week it's brilliant. Next minute, not so good. One result can sway the mood of an entire support, and No, I thought I went to the game after Gerrard was announced as manager. I was like, hey, it's going to be some game. It's going to be a party atmosphere. Everyone's going to be buzzing.
Yeah.
And it was poor. It was poor. And I was thinking to myself, they have to do. I know they have to do more about the atmosphere. They have to expand. They have to communicate with the fan group, the Union Bears, and because the way the Green Brigade, they've been treated tough but fair in my eyes. With some of the problems, obviously they've caused the club. They've caused them some problems, but they've been treated. They've given their own section. I know the Union Bears sit in BF1, but it's not really theirs. I could still go and get a ticket to sit in there and not be. I could easily just sit there, read a book, and not sing or shout.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be a problem. But I think safe standing needs to be implemented at Ibrox to give the Union Bears more freedom to create a greater atmosphere and really try and revive Ibrox, because it's been lost. When we've been down, the atmosphere's obviously faded a bit. The support's still there, the loyalty shown through, but just we need to sort the atmosphere out. And I'm sure Celtic, at the moment anyway, it'll be tested, I'm sure, in the near future. The fans and the loyalty.
Why?
I'm sure it'll be tested sometime soon. I hope it is anyway. But it'll be nice to see if they can, because it'd be great to have two loyal supporter groups in Scotland, because it's what we need. Scotland needs the old firm to thrive, and I'm sure through gritty teeth, you'd agree, Euan? Would you agree that Scotland needs both of us playing big parts in Europe? Would you agree? 'Cause I think it's not good for the game, us getting pumped 5-0, 4-0, 5-1 when we play Celtic.
Yeah.
And then you going out a week later and getting beat 1-0 off Aberdeen. But that's another story, isn't it?
Well, to be fair though, I mean, we don't go out and just accidentally lose 1-0 to Aberdeen. I mean, there's got to be some kind of planning in place for that. I mean, it's almost as if we didn't want Rangers. It's almost as if we didn't want Rangers to finish second. I mean,
just maybe, possibly.
I'd agree with you though. I'd agree.
Anyway,
so
I think I think we've covered everything we want to cover for today. I think we've just went over
so.
Yeah,
we've just.
So Euan, thanks for your company today.
Thanks for having me. It's been fantastic.
I've really enjoyed it, and thanks Bradley.
Wherever he's gone. I mean, obviously away,
thanks
but
for your contribution
of sorts.
I'm sure Bradley has an Instagram account. I'll leave it. We'll probably leave it in the link. I'm going to get Bradley to talk more about that next week, because I'm sure you see quite a few YouTubers. Bradley has a YouTube account that he goes to various grounds in England and visits them and watches a game of football, which I think is a great thing, that he can go and watch a lot of football. I wish I could do that, but it's very limited here. I mean, I'm still young and I've not got the same freedom as he has, but please, we'll leave it in the description. We'll get Bradley to talk about why he does it next week.
One thing I will add on that is his latest video is one I feature briefly in. Just a quick shout out to myself. I feature briefly at the very start, and it sort of, you kind of pick me up now and again. Listen out for a little bit during the first national anthem, because you may hear me say something through a muffled cough of some kind during the English national anthem. It might not be that clear, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so the point is...
Well, we're not that type. We're a family-friendly show, Euan. So
I would say what I said.
Anyway, thank you for joining me.
Sorry, and
we'll see who else we can get on next week. I don't think I think we'll need to get it up and running first before we invite, fellow football fans. Because that's what it's for. And when it gets running, it will be for football fans. Be football fans to discuss and debate. Exactly. I'm sure, especially with the World Cup. I think there'll be plenty of England supporters want to come on and express doubts.
Plenty of Scotland fans want to bash them for being delusional.
Disappointments, because England are never boring.
Of course not. No.
So
Italy.
We'll get this going again next week, and we'll push on from there, and hopefully we get more consistent this time, because I've really enjoyed it. It was good, and I hope the listeners enjoy it as well.
Right.
Thank you everyone for listening, and this has been the Predict Podcast.